What's poppin'?
I'm about to get this workout in. I just had a smoothie with my sea moss in it. Feel really good, feel full of energy. Yeah, I feel like I'm 18 again, bro. Like it was 96 at McCaskey.
You feel like it's 96 for real?
For real, bro.
You want that 96 track smoke, though?
What? Yo, let's get it. Let's get it. You ain't saying nothing. I think I can still run like a 4.3.
Because you know I'm on the sea moss, too. So if that's what you want, I mean, ain't nothing but space and opportunity out here.
You want to put a jar on it?
Let's put a jar of sea moss. We got it.
Let's get it. You ready, Bill?
Let's get it.
Come on. On your mark, get set, go.
Ay, bendito.
Lord have mercy.
You listening to this podcast. Do me a favor and head over to the TCPnetwork.com. TCP, or The Culture Professional, is Pennsylvania's first digital platform to highlight the voices of disenfranchised groups. With 13 podcasts and counting, there's something for everyone. Entertainment a la carte is what we like to say. Again, that's the TCPnetwork.com and The Culture Professional on Facebook. TCP, it's a movement, not a moment.
You ever meet someone and it feels like you've known them forever? A place where everybody knows your name. A place where everything goes. This ain't your mama's podcast. The squad that birthed the culture professional. Put the kids to bed, y'all. This is Say Less Podcast.
TCP Live. We're not afraid to get political.
Empowering women and giving us a voice for all to hear.
Where we could say more or say less.
Catching the day's latest news.
Serving up what you need to know with a whole lot of flavor.
From City Hall to your local barbershops. From your mobile phone to your living room. Welcome.
Woo! TCP Live. It's a movement, not a moment. Let's go.
For certain, I'm still searching for my purpose. Life ain't always picture perfect, but it's worth it. Yeah, it's worth it. Even when you're feeling worthless, it's still worth it. Yeah, I'm working, that's the only thing for certain. I'm still searching for my purpose. Life ain't always picture perfect, but it's worth it. Yeah, it's worth it. Even when you're feeling worthless, it's still worth it. Yeah. I'm drifting. Don't know where I'm headed, I'm just drifting. I'm sipping and sipping, lighting up the tree like it's Christmas. Just trying to find love, it was missing. Yeah. I think God was trying to talk to me, all I had to do was listen. Take a second to hear the snakes hissing. I'm paranoid. Feel like everybody got it out for me. I'm tired of people doubting me, but it's like fuel. Yeah, that's the shit just driving me. I'ma get to the bag, I'm dialing. Keep them phones from surrounding me. Cause they just tryna dilute all these goals to put in front of me. I'm fully focused, so I don't need your company. I swear these niggas bogus. I'm ready for when they come for me. I moved to the city so comfortably. You won't smoke with me. You already know what it's gonna be. I'ma bring the heat, yeah, I'ma bring the heat. And I ain't gonna stop until I see you bleed. I wanna see you bleed. You don't work and that's the only thing for certain. I'm still searching for my purpose. Life ain't always picture perfect, but it's worth it. Yeah, it's worth it. Even when you're feeling worthless, it's still worth it. Yeah, I'm working, that's the only thing for certain. I'm still searching for my purpose. Life ain't always picture perfect, but it's worth it. Yeah, it's worth it. Even when you're feeling worthless, it's still worth it. Yeah. I'm blissing, I'm on a mission. 44 with the long nose, Scott Pippen. I'm different. I be shape shifting. Pictures trip, I got this shit from across the border. About to kill it, somebody come witness slaughter. They gon' have to start comparing me to Jordan. All I ever wanna do is keep ballin'. Hating niggas wanna see me with my dick in the dirt. I ain't worried about them bitches, run them digits at first. Killing the competition, throw that bitch in the hearse. They can't wrap around my shoulder like that bitch was a purse. Lately I've been feeling like somebody asked me what a curse. But the money don't make itself, I gotta get up and work. Anything you see me with, I got from putting in that work. Grinding from the new year to December 31st. Yeah, I'm working, that's the only thing for certain. I'm still searching for my purpose. Life ain't always picture perfect, but it's worth it. Yeah, it's worth it. Even when you're feeling worthless, it's still worth it. Yeah, I'm working, that's the only thing for certain. I'm still searching for my purpose. Life ain't always picture perfect, but it's worth it. Yeah, it's worth it. Even when you're feeling worthless, it's still worth it. Yeah.
It's TCP in the morning. Good morning, y'all.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up. Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up. Wake up. Wake up, y'all. Wake up.
Wake up. It's TCP in the morning.
TCP in the morning. Let's go.
It's TCP in the morning.
TCP in the morning.
It's 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 TCP in the morning. You don't want to miss this.
Wake up. It's TCP in the morning. Woo!
Hey, everything's falling down, ladies and gentlemen. Good.
That wasn't me this time.
Let's go. Wake your ass up, ladies and gentlemen. It's TCP in the morning. Brush your teeth. Brush your ass. We in here, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning.
Rise and shine, sunshine.
We have the Sarge with us.
What up, baby?
And we have Lady L. Lady L, what's going on?
Good morning. It's Monday morning. This is our 4th week of airing TCP in the morning. Since the quarantine began. Thank you for watching.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a jam-packed show for you, like we do with every show. We're talking about the top 7 at 7. We have an amazing interview this week with Quinn Conyers.
That's a big interview.
That is.
She young, she been out there.
Right. So we'll
doing work.
Catching up with her. We have our Corona Chronicles, our music video that just played. Shout out to YB Savage. Ladies and gentlemen, we here. It's TCP. I am one of 3 hosts, Marquise Lupton, also known as The Quiet Storm, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Sarge, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm off Easter weekend. Cook some food.
Right.
Had some fun with the kids, spent some time with some loved ones. Hope you guys all did as well. Yo, I'm rocking. I'm ready to go. I'm up. I'm at it. I'm trying to anyway.
Right.
But I know it's hard for everybody to get up. It's rainy out.
Right.
Like, who want to get up when it's raining? I just want to lay in bed and cuddle, even if it's with a pillow. You know, like, I don't want to move. You know, but if you are up, thank you and welcome to the show.
Yes.
Hope you enjoy.
Yes. Lady L, what's going on?
Nothing much. I'm not gonna lie. I woke up at like 4 this morning to get ready for the show, but I heard like the thunder and the rain. I was like, are we gonna have a show today? Because it's all raining. I don't know if the staff can make it into the bunker this morning, but they did. We got our producer of the ones and twos, Fly Guy Ty, from the 10th floor. That airs on Tuesdays at 6:30. And so yes, I'm just glad to see everybody's here. But yeah, so you know what I was thinking about this morning? I was thinking about something my dad used to say to me about good morning. So what's something that you guys say to your kids in the morning? My dad would say to me, rise and shine, the good Lord say, time to start another day. So what are some weird little things, little tidbits of information you got from your the morning mantras?
Morning rituals.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh. My mom, she had a couple. She would say, good morning, Ma. Good morning, Pa. What's the matter, Ma? Ain't got enough money to pay the mortgage on the rent. Ain't got much money to pay the mortgage on the rent. Man. Totally made no sense. Made no sense. None at all. You thought I was going somewhere? No. It's a road to nowhere. It's a road to nowhere. Besides waking up. Oh, and then, you know, on the days that she would feel, you know, the black power bubbling up and everything, she would come in the room, Ungawa, black power, up to the tower, Ungawa, black power. And I'm like, oh.
You just wake up like.
Yeah, right. Just, all right, I'm up.
Let's go, Mom.
This first.
Right. Absolutely. How about you?
I tell my kids, rise and shine, sunshine. That's always the thing. But I'm not trying to think what I was told. I only think back to what my squad leader used to say to me. Mm-hmm. Squad leader, shout out to Sergeant Mays. Rest in peace, brother. Sergeant Mays used to go. He'd walk in, kick in the barracks door, and he'd go, drop your cocks and put on your socks. And then he's like, all right, here we go. Here we go. And like, he had the weird sayings, though. Like, he would say, look at that, you just got done pumping the neighbor cat's grin. Like, it's slicker than cat poop on a tin roof. Like, yeah, he was one of them guys. He was like a mountain. He was a mountain boy. No, he was just like a mountain dude. It's just like, you know, he was a good dude. You know, he's a little off.
Mountain sayings.
Like, yo, listen, I had one of them stories with him. We're in Afghanistan. We just get there. It's in, I don't even know, when was it? Like January? December? I don't know. We get there, and we're sitting there having a serious briefing. He looks us dead in the face. He's like, all this stuff's going. He's like, you know what? I'm like, what's that? He's like, there's still snow on them mountains. As he points to mountains in the distance. Like, just, yeah. And then we all just look at it. What? What? But yeah, so that's what I have.
I think that's a good time to bring up the top 7 at 7.
Top 7 at 7. Ladies and gentlemen, our first news story of today is people in India can see the Himalayas for the first time in decades as the lockdown eases air pollution. So, according to CNN, people in the northern Indiana state of Punjab are reacting with awe at the sight of the Himalayan mountain range, which is now visible from more than 100 miles away due to the reduction in air pollution caused by the country's coronavirus lockdown. Mm-hmm. India's in the city of Jalandhar and the surrounding area have posted photos online of the views from their homes, with some saying they haven't seen the peaks of the Himalayas for decades. For the first time in almost 30 years, I could see the Himalayas due to India's lockdown clearing air pollution. Just amazing, one person says. The phenomenon is made possible by a dramatic improvement in air quality in recent weeks. After industry shut down, cars came off the road and airlines canceled flights in response to the coronavirus. Delhi officials in Delhi are saying that pollution has been reduced by 44%.
Wow.
That is.
I want y'all to know how happy Jerome is right now.
Oh, the player from the Himalayas.
He is so proud right now.
You see me? I'm way over there.
Like, you see me waving, but what that
Wrong.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah. So, and you know what's crazy is that I think that just some things we just take for granted, such as the beauty in nature. Like, for pollution to have been so bad, to cause so much smog that, you know, you were just missing this beautiful wonder that's a part of the world. And so I'm looking forward to how the earth is healing itself. Because that's how I see it. I mean, what do you think,
Can you imagine living there? Like the senior citizens, they said they haven't been seen in generations. All right, so what, 30 years?
Yeah.
All right, that's a long time. Okay, and you got to figure some of these kids have grown up not knowing having this background, so they don't know the beauty of India where they live. But now they see this background, maybe it'll inspire them to leave, you know, to travel. You know, there's some kids don't leave local towns.
This is true.
Like, you grow up and you still may never leave. You know, so you gotta make the choice, make the decision. So something like that's like motivating.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think about the Himalayas being saw? Have you guys ever been to India? Have you seen it, not seen it, looked over and it wasn't there? Drop your comments below. But yeah, I think it's beautiful. I think that this is something that we should be appreciative of, because once the lockdown's over, is it still going to be visible? Is it going to just, you know, disappear into the smog, into the pollution again? And then my other question is, how long will it take? You know, like the streets open back up, coronavirus, you know, is gone, and now it's September, and now what?
I feel like the earth is like lungs right now. You know, smokers' lungs. You quit smoking for 24 hours, your lungs start repairing themselves. You know, we quit driving for 24 hours. Earth starts repairing itself.
Yeah.
You know, like that's something great, and that's something we gotta look into and get better at overall.
Yeah.
You know, gas prices are.
Maybe going forward, we take a month, one day out of every month, and you know, people aren't allowed to drive. Or, you know, we have to kind of help promote the ozone layer and promote that regeneration that's been happening, that we've been noticing.
It's like we have one day we can't get it right. We have Earth Day and we can't get it right.
Well, now are people believing in climate change though? Yeah. Because I mean, there's still going to be people that's going to be like, "What? That's not real. I'm not going to not drive once a week."
You know what would be great? Is if the iceberg started growing back. If they already got cold. What is it? Antarctica?
That would be.
That would be crazy.
Yeah. If that happened, they change their minds.
Right. But if you think about it now, I mean, I was just watching a documentary yesterday that says the ice in those on the polar caps, it goes away in the summertime when it gets warm. There's no longer the thick, like giant icebergs or sheets of ice there. Now it's only new ice that's being recreated every year over the winters. Wow. So hopefully, you know, if we're doing things the right way, we can start to get that regeneration back.
Reverse the damage that we done.
Man, listen, I don't know about the other countries, but you know, Americans, we gonna undo all of that in a week. First week, coronavirus freedom quarantine is over, and they are gonna be tearing up the streets.
Coronavirus station.
You going nowhere for what?
That's why they ain't gonna open it up soon enough.
Yeah. So back to the Himalayas. I think that what this might do, the downside of it is it's going to create more traffic to the Himalayas. There's going to be more people trying to climb Mount Everest now because it's more clear, it's more beautiful, and everything.
Not because, you know, they canceled tours and hiking up Mount Everest. I think last year they canceled it because people were leaving their trash and it got ridiculous, and they closed it off.
Are you sure? That's a lot of money to
Google it.
You're turning off the tourism.
Right.
Then that was on purpose.
Right. That
was on purpose.
That's like saying Ocean City saying, all right, No more Ocean City, Maryland, because y'all be leaving your trash here.
Guys, they were.
I
There
don't know
was
about.
so much trash going
That's a whole.
up the mountain.
That's a whole ecosystem. No,
that's why they did it, because it was messing up the ecosystem.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen,
check that.
Fact check Lady L.
Check that.
Fact check Lady L and find out. But Dixon, there's
Oh yes. All right, let me get to
there's
that.
another story with the doctors.
Yeah, doctors are asking states that have lethal injections that use lethal injection drugs for executions to turn over their medicines that can be used for COVID-19 patients. All right, Business Insider. Oh man, article just went up. But the Business Insider says these prisons that use execution have these lethal drugs they can turn these medicines over to doctors to use for patients on ventilators, the patients with respiratory problems, basically with COVID-19 patients in their treatments. All right, so I didn't know that. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that they're going to make state prisons? They're going to make these prisons turn over all their medicines.
That's crazy.
There's things that they're using to keep prisoners healthy, prisoners up. They're going to turn them in. And that's why we see a lot of prisoners being released. On the healthy, whether they're healthy or not as big a crime, because states that have this, they're being asked to turn over their meds. How do you take care of a population with no meds?
Well, and you know what? To couple that, there's just so much going on with the prisons that even now they're having the inmates make masks, and only staff are getting masks, not inmates. So there's just so much going on with the prisons during this time that it's really unfair for the inmates. Let's be honest. Not even looking at who's in prison, but there's a lot of poor people in prison. I like to say that it's just a modern day debtor's jail.
They said the jails are stockpiled though, so they have a lot.
Right.
So they have a lot, and
they're literally releasing some non-violent offenders who have to have, that are 2 months out of being released. They're releasing them now to try and avoid and open up those beds. Within the prison, which is crazy.
I mean, we had to come to this, right? I mean, and it's just, I feel like the coronavirus has just really caused us as a country to kind of question certain ideals and ways of life that we have.
Now, it says doctors are saying they're running out of drugs, so over like 2,600 doctors sent messages out, sent letters out.
Well, I mean, if the prisons have these stockpiles, like they're saying, that these prisons have these stockpiles of these like morphine and other type drugs. So I mean, if they have stockpiles of them, and these stockpiles are only being used to kill people, then I mean, what are you going to use them for? Are you going to use them to kill people, or are you going to use them to save people?
Exactly.
I don't know. People so nasty.
Well, yeah. This really comes down to the governors and the mayors and the state legislators. How do they want to address it? What matters more to them? Does killing somebody matter more, or does saving not one life, not 2 lives, but 3 lives? Does that matter more? So.
And just to correct myself, there's over 2,600 people currently on death row. All right. There was a group of doctors. I would say it was 200 doctors that wrote it. And also, as far as there's over 30 states that still use lethal injection. So with that being said, a lot of these states haven't executed nobody in years. So all this stuff's that's where that stockpile came.
Just in case.
All right. So in case you guys are wondering, well, how does that jail get stockpiled with this stuff? All right, and that's how it gets stockpiled.
Right.
We don't have as many. There's not near as many executions as there used to be.
Fortunately.
Yeah,
fortunately.
Fortunately.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching TCP in the morning. This is a part of the mighty TCP network. This is our top 7 at 7. We are on news article number 3. So in Hazeltown, before we get started, this coronavirus has really affected a whole bunch of industries and one of them being the meat packing industry. So in Hazeltown, according to WFMZ, the Keystone State of the United Food and Commercial Workers Union, Local 1776, represents 800 of Cargill's employees at a Hazelton facility. Union President Wendell Young says the meatpacking plant has packed itself. It's a crowded place with many people under one roof. It's an assembly line kind of work. It's very difficult and challenging work. It's the kind of work where people work very close together. Last week, 164 employees are being treated for coronavirus symptoms, and Young attributes the outbreak to a vulnerable location. This place will be shutting down, and I feel like this is only the tip of the iceberg for other industries, especially as this eases out to the Midwest, and start really affecting those rural places.
I mean, out of all the things that we're learning about the coronavirus is its ability to live on surfaces. And they were saying like it can't live too long necessarily on top of organic surfaces. So I wonder, what does that mean for raw meat?
It can be transferred through food.
Okay, well then that's good to know.
And like once it gets in the stomach, all the acids in the stomach breaks it down. But it cannot be transmitted through food. But it is a scary thought with the second wave, like as this stuff does head to the west, head through the Midwest, all the packaging plants,
Right.
Meat goes everywhere.
And in Soldertown, JBF Beef Slaughterhouse had their first death. A 70-year-old man.
He was part of the, I think it was a union leader too, right?
Union rep. And this is the second week that they had to shut down. So I mean, these are the people that we're talking about on the front line.
Our essentials.
Right. But you know what? We call them essentials, but our government really calls them really treats them as expendables. Yes, expendables. And we like make them, they're superheroes and everything like that. This is great, which is exactly right. But it really kind of trivializes the situation by calling them superheroes. Like, no, let's not call them superheroes. Let's stop all that and show why these people are superheroes. Let's strive for them to get paid more. Like we are going to occupy Wall Street and everything like that. Then we need to occupy our state legislators and these superheroes, these people that are on the front lines. We need to advocate for them.
Don't put in all that time, man.
Right.
All those CEOs making $100,000 are sitting at home.
At home. Right
Unless
now.
they're on their yacht.
Right.
Quarantining on yacht.
Right.
They're sitting at home, and the people that are paid the least are doing the most.
But isn't that how it's always been?
It's like that in the military. Like low man gotta get out, check to make sure nobody's shooting. Low man gotta get out, cross the bridge first, make sure ain't no landmine set up across. Like that's just the way it works, man. Like it sucks, but
who's expendable?
It's the way of life.
What's crazy though is that and speaking of that and the essential workers and everything like that, I saw something on Say Less's page, and some of their viewers, make sure you tune in to Say Less on Sundays. One of their viewers was like, she was saying like, we should all be grateful that we're getting a $1,200 check. If you don't want your $1,200 check, you need to give it to me, and I'll share it with people who need it. You should be appreciating that $1,200. And I'm livid, because I'm just like, you're a part of the problem. You're okay with this. The government has, the American government out of all places has so much. And the fact that you're okay with $1,200, let me tell you how much better our government could do for us.
Trump got her. Trump got her to believe this was a good thing.
Yeah.
Right.
What's going to happen after this month?
Right.
What's going to happen after 1 month? It's not going to... things aren't going to stop just in 1 month. Like, all right, hey.
And if you look at other countries, like it's a continuation. Like it's 6 months. Now to the point, those countries they don't match the population of the United States, so they're a little bit more flexible.
Match the income of the
Yeah,
United States.
that
Our
as well.
GDP, if you are selling something, you want to sell it in America, our retail really runs our country. People come from all over to sell their products here. We got money. If our billionaires are signing letters saying, hey, tax me more, hey, I want to give more, we got money. And the fact that it was time for you to show yourself, you gave us your butt to kiss.
Yeah, true.
Take this bread and
Yo,
walk off.
bars.
Right. It's hush money.
Walk off.
Right.
Bars.
Hush money.
Shit you behind at home.
Buying votes. Unfortunately, there won't be people that are privy or even I don't want to say smart enough, but for lack of a better term,
Seeking information.
Right. There'll be those that have lacked seeking information, and they will
fail.
Yeah, they'll fall for this.
Yeah.
That their
They will
vote.
vote for Trump.
Right, thinking that Trump's giving out money. This is going to be something that's going to happen over and over and over again. Not realizing that they really took a page from Andrew Yang. and that's a whole other conversation to have on how like both parties just cherry picked stuff from Andrew Yang and pushed it as their own. Crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
Shout out to Andrew Yang.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely was a leader, innovator.
Absolutely, yes.
Now wasn't your time, but it was your policy time.
He got it from Martin Luther King, and there's actually somebody in between him and King that was trying it, and then he's just the newest person presenting it to us in a different.
And you know what they call Martin Luther King?
A socialist.
A socialist, communist.
Communist, yeah.
It just sounds like people trying to hoard their money.
Yeah, here we are.
Yeah, right.
Or people poor enough to not know that you could benefit from those people sharing their money.
Right.
Just keep checks rolling in once in a while.
Right.
Oh, we retire. I am retired. I'm just trying to add.
Ladies and gentlemen, according to the Post Gazette, meat processing plants across several states, Colorado, Iowa, and Nebraska, along with Pennsylvania, are reporting COVID-19 outbreaks. A federal food inspector in New York died from the disease last month, and at least 4 meat plants in Pennsylvania have recently closed due to concerns related to the pandemic. 4 of those are in Hazeltown on the on the I-80 corridor connecting eastern Pennsylvania with New York, and the world's largest meat processor, JBS Beef in Sautertown. So again, these are people that are on the front lines, and what they have done, what Cargill has done, they negotiated a $2 an hour per raise for shifts between March 23rd and May 3rd, and then JBS, those employees will be eligible for a one-time $500 bonus on May 15th.
I just want you to know the $500 is a drop in the bucket to how much it costs for treatment for COVID-19.
Or if you die.
Right. It's okay because you gave my family $500.
I mean, somebody has to do it though, right? And if you're working.
I guess, but I mean, if all those workers are getting sick, God forbid, there's a massive number of people that died that worked those jobs. Who's going to work those jobs? Because you got a whole lot of uppity college graduates that's going to be like, I'm not doing that.
The military gives bonuses for less. Like their bonuses are less. Like we'll offer you $10,000 for the next 6 years of your life, and you're like, $10,000 at one time?
Every year for 6 years?
No, just one time. Oh. You'll get a third here. You get a third when you're done with basic.
Oh wow!
You get a third here, and they spread it out. So it turns out you're like, oh, here comes that extra $1,600 a month.
So you're looking
and
for
it comes quarterly though.
Right.
Oh man, it's the worst, man. And like people sign up for that, so that $500 is probably big money to some people.
Yeah.
Who've never seen it.
Yeah, and I mean we've been siphoned and we've been squeezed so much that any good gesture, any hand to help we're looking at it as, oh my God, yes, thank you.
Then that's a
need
problem.
this.
That's
yeah.
a problem with
It's a big
American
problem.
culture.
It's a big problem, yeah.
The fact that we're all sitting up here supposed to be sucking this man dick because he gonna give us $1,200? No,
Whoa,
you're wrong.
whoa, Lady L. What
You're
was that?
wrong. I'm sorry. I get
What was that, Lady L?
about this. I'm sorry.
It got deep there, guys.
Listen,
they got deep.
So, all right, moving right.
Moving on. We're gonna jump into the nonprofit. Let's get back to the family oriented. So, all right, there's nonprofits working to provide internet for families. According to the president of the Steinman Foundation, Shane Zimmerman, through all of Lancaster County, there are large numbers of families who do not have access to internet. The estimated number is around 2,500 families that didn't have it, and they didn't have access to the technology to be able to learn from home as well, Zimmerman said. The issue is highlighted now that Governor Wolf has closed schools for the rest of the academic year, and online learning has become more apparent. We know there is a digital divide, he said. The Steinman Foundation is allocating $100,000 to fix the divide. The executive director of the STEM Alliance, Sandy Shrunk, said it's money that would be well used. So you guys think we need that?
I think all cities should have like a free Wi-Fi. I remember some years ago in Philadelphia, there was like a free city Wi-Fi where you could just sign up from your house and it was just free. And so I think that that's good that we should have that just across the country because Wi-Fi is a necessity, but you can't afford it. And then sometimes it's cheaper to get internet and Wi-Fi than just to have the Wi-Fi.
I feel like Wi-Fi is starting to become like a necessary. Like you kind of need Wi-Fi to be able to get things done, to provide, to look. Yeah, it's become a utility.
Yeah.
You know, like regardless of what we think, how we say, oh, we don't need the internet. Wi-Fi is a utility because like when your phone's not working right. You know, like for everything though, like for looking things up, you know, like to become more knowledgeable, you know, or just to be more aware and alert to what's going on in the world.
And having Wi-Fi versus not having Wi-Fi puts you at a great advantage if you have it, and it puts you at a great disadvantage if you don't have it. And like we're talking about like a great disadvantage if you don't have access. Like, I mean, we're talking about school functions, some work and job functions. Like, if you don't have that Wi-Fi, if you don't have that internet connection, you know, you essentially can't connect with the outside world, outside of your, you know, neighborhood block radius.
That's that, hey, get here, but if you don't have that, you don't have a ladder, you know? So it's like little things that help boost us, you know?
Right.
It's like you wouldn't think that, you know, that during this pandemic, seeing the kids, like the way they know the iPads and stuff, like I would have never known that stuff when I was that age. I didn't even think about that stuff. You know, I didn't teach that. We were doing in the 8th grade. We were like I was learning how to type in like middle school. Middle school, I was just learning how to type with Mr. Day from Reynolds Middle School. You know, like learning how to type. Just A, boom, boom. All right, let's do it quick.
These kids don't even know. Boop, boop.
You know, like yeah, we got taught that,
right?
And they don't teach that no more. You know, so Wi-Fi is.
I just think when Wi-Fi came out, it was something that nobody could really grasp, and then so once we got it, we all got used to it, and it's like it is really a part of our daily lives, and I think it's sad for the children whose parents can't afford Wi-Fi or the only access to the internet you might have is your cell phone. And, you know, now we're talking about, you know, does it work in a house? Work upstairs, downstairs. Like, how much internet access are you really even getting on your device?
Yeah, true.
And then turn around and say, oh, well, the kids are going to finish, you know, schooling on the internet. I mean, there are whole districts who just assume that families just, oh, you got it. Here you go. We're going to move to online learning.
Right. The school district of Lancaster did that. They ushered out these iPads, and they don't even know that half the kids in the neighborhood don't even have internet.
Right. Which was weird.
But they're giving out iPads.
They did some kind of phone, some kind of like, they did a phone call, and they were calling families and parents saying, hey, do you have internet? Do you have access to it? Do you have a device? Do you have this and that? And I guess they maybe got enough responses saying that we do have it that it made sense.
But I don't think parents understood that. Like, hey, can you keep your internet on for a prolonged period of time with no interruptions?
Is this just your phone hotspot?
Yeah.
Or is this internet?
Yeah, like can you?
Because everybody thinks they got internet when you got hotspot. You know what I mean?
How high is your RAM?
And according to PennLive.com, Comcast is also offering those without Wi-Fi in their homes a chance to connect. They are installing public hotspots across the country that can be accessed for free in response to the coronavirus pandemic. Comcast has set up Xfinity hotspots in a variety of different locations like shopping districts, parks, businesses, and train stations that will all be open and used. All people looking for connection have to do is access the Wi-Fi, is clicking on the network labeled Xfinity Wi-Fi, and launch a browser.
Xfinity, I give you one of these. Look, hold on. This isn't a good thing.
Oh, it's not?
No.
I'm gonna say
this is not a good thing.
They give this Wi-Fi outside, like we can go outside. Right
Exactly. Hey kids, pack up. We're going to the train station to get your homework done. Bring your iPads. Bring your notebooks. I'll bring snack and lunch.
Well,
bring your headphones too, because those trains get loud.
Good job. It's the thought that it's not the thought that counts. Because who thought about it? Who thought about it?
Why do we wait till now?
Like if you're gonna set up hotspots to cover communities.
Right.
Boom. Cover neighborhoods or residential areas.
Like outside the libraries or something.
Moving right along, ladies and gentlemen. We're reaching our 1 hour for our top 7 at 7. So we are going to shorten things up a little bit this morning and do 6 of 7. So story number 5. We have the United States Postal Services will run out of money in September, and this will hurt African Americans the most. Surprise, surprise. According to thegrio.com, President Donald Trump seems inclined to let the United States Postal Service die because he believes the agency needs to increase prices. And this was reported by the New York Times. The COVID-19 crisis has hurt most major industries in the United States, and perpetually and the perpetually in debt Postal Service is no exception. They've asked Congress for a $89 billion to stay afloat, insisting the agency will run out of money by the end of September if they don't get a cash infusion. Trump may not be so eager to help, as he has long held the view that the Postal Service should charge on par with those of like Amazon. Just last week, he rejected a cash bailout. Trump has said they have to raise the prices on these companies who drop thousands of packages on the floor of the post office. They ought to do that. I'm pushing them. So this obviously is just like with the internet and Wi-Fi. Those to send something off, we're talking about cents on the dollar. And now we're talking about raising it to $10 just to send this letter, and that's going to, like my grandmother, when she was alive, take her little $3.50, go down there, everybody gets a card. Everybody gets a card. Like what is that going to do? Postage for businesses, for small businesses, like that's going to skyrocket. Like if you're used to, our postage for shipping is $12 a month, that may triple, double, quadruple.
Sheila Murray Hargrove says, "Buy stamps now."
Right. Absolutely.
I'm always trying to buy stamps.
Absolutely. Because if the president is pushing, if he's willing for the USPS, if he's willing for that to die, that's going to hurt a lot of people.
Not to mention the jobs. I mean, is there any talk of them letting employees go before they run out of money? I mean, that's a way to save money.
You know what? I'm gonna throw this out here real quick. And we'll get right back to it. As we're talking about the USPS coming to an end, I think Kevin Costner. The mailman, the postman. You guys never seen that movie?
Never seen it.
Yo, he was like the last mailman, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like he was going to town with his bag and like delivering mail to people, and like people were amazed by it, like it's mail. And it's like because it meant something more, like a stable government, you know. And like if you don't have mail, like I feel we really lose the norm.
Yeah.
You know, if you cut mail out.
It's already difficult enough as it is to find a mailbox.
It's difficult
like
to
on
find,
the street.
For me, it's difficult for me to find something good in my mailbox.
So, ladies and gentlemen, our final story for today comes from our Surgeon General. We're gonna play a clip for you.
Stay at home if possible. If you must go out, maintain 6 feet of distance between you and everyone else, and wear a mask.
Let's start this over for you.
Stay at home if possible. If you must go out, maintain 6 feet of distance between you and everyone else, and wear a mask if you're going to be within 6 feet of others. Wash your hands more often than you ever dreamed possible. Avoid alcohol, tobacco, and drugs. And call your friends and family. Check in on your mother. She wants to hear from you right now. And speaking of mothers, we need you to do this, if not for yourself, then for your abuela. Do it for your granddaddy. Do it for your big mama. Do it for your pop-pop. We need you to understand, especially in communities of color, we need you to step up and help stop the spread so that we can protect those who are most vulnerable. This epidemic is a tragedy, but it will be all the more tragic if we fail to recognize and address the disproportionate impact of COVID-19 and an array of other diseases and risk factors on communities of color. The task force and this administration are determined not to let that happen. The president, the vice president have said we will not let that happen. We can't fix these issues overnight, but I promise you we will work with your communities to quickly and meaningfully move the needle in the right direction. Nothing less than the fate of our families and friends. My family and friends depends on it.
So, and while you're doing it for your granddaddy, doing it for your big mama, do it for the vine as well. Because I mean, holy cow!
Yeah,
holy cow! And he also said, you know, stay off the alcohol, the tobacco, and the drugs. You know, as if you know the African Americans, the blacks, as Trumper likes to say, you know, as if it's only those populations, and he defends this, ladies and gentlemen, by saying that this is what he uses. He calls his grandmother, and he has family.
It's a lie.
And the thing is, like, colloquialisms, right?
Yeah.
Colloquialisms. Mm-hmm. Like there's a time and place. There's a time and place. I hear him. But here's the thing. There's some words and phrases that I use with family and friends that I wouldn't dare use
in a professional setting.
In a professional national presidential setting.
With the president.
With the president 2 feet away from you.
We're talking about the president that said grab him by the pussy.
I'm gonna throw this out
that
there.
President.
Listen,
regardless, that's still one of the highest.
But that language is okay.
No, it's not. It's not.
It is since he took office. It's changing.
That
changing.
language,
that is old America.
It's never okay for a black man to have his own colloquialisms in the workplace. That's not okay.
It is okay now with Donald Trump.
Okay,
you don't know how he runs his administration.
Look, when things open up, you go to your boss and you use all your colloquialisms that you use with your girlfriends. And you tell her, things are different now. Things are different. Because this president, go ahead. And she's going to show you how much things aren't different.
I feel like he wrote the first part of his speech was him. And they were like, hey man, we need a little bit more pizzazz.
You need to talk to the blacks a little bit more.
They're like this. I feel like they gave it to him. They're like, here.
He had
like someone wrote it and they're just like,
he had to look at it like,
what the
bruh.
You know what? You can hear it. I feel you hear the change in his voice as he goes off what he's saying.
Right.
And he's like,
right.
And that is another thing.
Right.
Shout out.
We got some comments. Arthur Brinson, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. He says, but they'll bail out banks, car manufacturers, and Trump wants to privatize the postal service. That is true. That is true. That is true.
America the business.
Right. America the business. America runs on capitalism.
Oh, not Duncan.
United Corporations of America.
Right. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, that was our top 6 at 7. We had one more story to talk about. That was Giant Foods is to limit people in the stores starting today. Just want to get that headline out to you, just to let you know what is going on at your local supermarket establishments.
I think Wise and Save A Lot might be the last ones who aren't doing it yet.
Yeah,
because Wise don't give. Well, Walmart either. Walmart still let a lot of people in.
Yeah,
but they make you walk in one way and go around.
Yeah,
right? They got a little flow going now, so that's a good thing.
And then that'll be it. That'll be it for our top 7 at 7. We're going to hit you with our music video that we had earlier this morning, and then we have our TCP news break with the amazing Miss Quinn Conyers. So, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. Don't go nowhere. Share. Comment. We love you. It's TCP in the morning. Woo! Let's go.
It's TCP in the morning. Good morning, y'all.
Wake up. Wake up.
Wake up. Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up, y'all.
Wake up.
Wake up. It's TCP in the morning.
TCP in the morning. Let's go.
It's TCP in the morning.
TCP in the morning.
It's 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 TCP in the morning. It's TCP in the morning.
It's TCP in the morning. You don't want to miss this.
Wake up. It's TCP in the morning. Woo!
Yeah, I'm working, that's the only thing for certain. I'm still searching for my purpose. Life ain't always picture perfect, but it's worth it. Yeah, it's worth it. Even when you're feeling worthless, it's still worth it. Yeah, I'm working, that's the only thing for certain. I'm still searching for my purpose. Life ain't always picture perfect, but it's worth it. Yeah, it's worth it. Even when you're feeling worthless. Yeah, I'm drifting. Don't know where I'm headed, I'm just drifting. I'm sipping and sipping, lighting up the tree like it's Christmas. Just trying to find a love, it was missing. Yeah, I think God was trying to talk to me, all I had to do was listen. Take a second to hear the snakes hissing. I'm paranoid. Yeah. Feel like everybody got it out for me. I'm tired of people doubting me, but it's like fuel. Yeah, that's the shit just driving me. I'ma get to the bag undoubtedly. Keep them phonies from surrounding me. Cause they just trying to dilute all these goals they put in front of me. I'm fully focused, so I don't need your company. I swear these niggas bogus. I'm ready for when they come for me. I moved to the city so comfortably. You won't smoke with me. You already know what it's gonna be. I'ma bring the heat, yeah, I'ma bring the heat. And I ain't gonna stop until I see you bleed. I wanna see you bleed. Yeah, I'm working, that's the only thing for certain. I'm still searching for my purpose. Life ain't always picture perfect, but it's worth it. Yeah, it's worth it. Even when you're feeling worthless, it's still worth it. Yeah, I'm working, that's the only thing for certain. I'm still searching for my purpose. Life ain't always picture perfect, but it's worth it. Yeah, it's worth it. Even when you're feeling worthless, it's still worth it. Yeah, I'm blissing, I'm on a mission. 44 with the long nose, Scott Pippen. I'm different. I be shape shifting. Pictures trip, I got this shit from across the border. About to kill it, somebody come witness slaughter. They gon' have to start comparing me to Jordan. All I ever wanna do is keep ballin'. Hating niggas wanna see me with my dick in the dirt. I ain't worried about them bitches, run them digits at first. Killing the competition, throw that bitch in the hearse. They can't wrapped around my shoulder like that bitch was a purse. Lately I've been feeling like somebody asked me what a curse. But the money don't make itself, I gotta get up and work. Anything you see me with, I got from putting in that work. Grinding from the new year to December 31st. Yeah, I'm working, that's the only thing for certain. I'm so searching.
It's your boy, Just Dom, catching the day's latest news. What's going on around the roads? Find out here first at the TCP News Break.
You're good. Alrighty. How's it going out there, guys? It's your boy, Just Dom, catching the day's latest news with TCP Network. It's the TCP News Break. And I'm here with the lovely, Quinn. I don't want to pronounce your last name wrong. I should have asked you that before the interview. Would you like to introduce yourself?
It's okay. Yes, my name is Quinn Conyers.
Awesome. Thank you for doing this interview with us. We definitely appreciate it. I haven't gotten a chance to meet you physically, personally, due to the pandemic and things like that. We've been doing most of our interviews via Zoom, so we definitely appreciate you taking your time out of your busy schedule. I see, now being your friend on Facebook, that you are all over the place. You are a very, very busy woman. And you are making things happen for other women of color, Black women in particular, out here in the world, and we definitely appreciate that. So I got wind of you through the article on, let me make sure, blackbusiness.com. And they discussed this entrepreneurship training that you have for Black women. Basically teaching them how to become public speakers and get paid now, not before. A lot of people that have businesses, they're not thriving right now. But you're able to teach people that aren't necessarily at a standstill. You're trying to show them other tools. So can you speak about that a little bit?
So absolutely. When it comes to making money, whether you're a speaker, whether you're an entrepreneur, there are two ways to do that. And it's either online or offline. And most people have mastered the art of one. They're getting all their money online, or they mastered the art of making all their money offline. So what I do as a speaker is, our bread and butter is in front of a live audience. We get joy, we get energy, speaking and serving an audience. We love the idea of walking into a crowd and transforming and inspiring. But if you are living, breathing right now, you know that live events are not possible with 10 or more people. So my goal is to still teach people, how can you still use your voice and make profit from public speaking, even during a pandemic? So if you don't have an audience in person, how can you leverage your virtual audience? We all have virtual audiences at our disposal, on a computer, in our hands, through our phones. So by doing a Facebook Live or a webinar or a podcast interview, you can still speak and serve and make a profit. So my goal is to give you a mental makeover, especially people who are speakers, and make their money live, on how they can transition and begin to still speak and serve on a virtual platform.
Awesome. So in your experience, right, where would you say most people have mastered that skill? You said that there's one of two skills, right? Online or offline. Where have most people probably mastered their skills?
I would say comfortability for the most part is, I would say, face-to-face. It's easier to show someone a product, explain it. They can put their eyes on it. They can, explain it in a way that gets people excited. I feel like more people want to do more online, but don't always have the skills or the technical knowledge how to do so. So it sounds great and interesting to sell products and services on Instagram or Facebook, but do you have the proper ad budget to back that up? Because it's not just about you getting on there and saying, hey, I have this product or service, do you want to buy it? There's a little bit more strategy to selling online than it is setting up and having someone buy something from you face to face. So if this pandemic didn't teach us anything, it told us to really get our online strategy tight and right. If not, you're going to be out here starving. And for those people who've already done it, they are living a good life right now because they are really operating in their nature in regards to selling and offering their products and services online. But I don't want that person like me who enjoys live interaction get discouraged, because this is not going to be forever. I don't care how much you love Beyonce. I love Beyonce. I can listen to her songs on the radio. I can watch her Coachella performance on Netflix. There is nothing like being at one of her concerts. So this is the current normal, but it's not the new normal. This will not stay like this forever. There's no way that these bars and car dealerships, these businesses that operate on, being a people business, is going to survive. And America is built on economics. America is built on, business. So we are in where we are now, but the whole thing of live events, how much concerts make, restaurants make, it's where we are now, but this will not last forever.
Right. We're going to get right back to the dollar. That makes sense. I mean, we're in capitalism. Yeah. So, does it take a different, I don't want to use the wrong terminology and say, does it take more confidence to get an online presence? But does it take a different type of confidence to use an online presence, or do you don't think that's a factor when it comes to public speaking? I mean, you guys are already in front of a bunch of people.
So I think that it's sometimes people are afraid. So let's break this down for a second. Public speaking, period, is the number one fear of all Americans, right? So people are more afraid to speak in public than rats, than heights. Matter of fact, more people so public speaking is the number one fear. Number two is death. So that means that people rather die than speak in front of a group of people. It's not that serious. So again, when it comes to using your voice and it comes to speaking, sometimes lights and cameras are just as nerve-wracking as seeing an actual, full-fledged live audience, or vice versa. Some people are very comfortable because they don't have a bunch of eyeballs looking at them. And I don't even think it's people. It's people are wondering, what do I sound like? What do I look like? And they're more concerned about themselves. And what I tell people is, when you're speaking, you are speaking to serve other people. The focus shouldn't be on you. It should be focused on, how can I transform the lives of the people who are watching me live, or experience me at a live event, or hopping onto my video, or seeing me doing a social media live. So once you begin to transition your brain to focus on, how can I offer a life-changing message versus, do I sound right? Am I moving my hands? Do I have something in my teeth? And focus on the audience, then you can kind of alleviate some of those challenges and some of those fears when it comes to speaking on any level, whether it's virtual or whether it's in person.
Awesome. We definitely appreciate that game. We need that. Because I know there's a bunch of people probably itching at home, wanting to jump on that phone or jump on one of their social media sites and make $1. Because that's what America's based on. Everybody wants to hustle, but I think this kind of just hit everybody from an angle that they weren't prepared for. But I do want to talk a little bit about you as well. I want to talk a little bit about how you got into this game. How did you become a public speaker?
It's interesting. I live in Baltimore, Maryland, and people think that I was born and raised here, but I was not. I moved to Baltimore in 2007. I'm originally from Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Awesome.
So I'm from Lancaster, graduated from McCaskey.
Tornado.
Yeah. So I'm definitely a red tornado, and that's where I'm from, and I still have a lot of friends and family that are there. I go home, and it's all love. And honestly, after graduation, I went to college. I went to Westchester University for undergrad, and after Westchester, that's when I really began to find my voice. We had to take a public speaking class, and everybody was deathly afraid, and I was just like, doing amazingly well. And I loved how after I would do a speech, people would just compliment me on my ability to speak. So that translated into me being an RA in college, doing a lot of meetings and just constantly speaking. And then I was president of the multicultural recruitment team. So my job was to get more minority, Blacks, Latino students to come to campus and pursue Westchester as a college option. And then after that, I graduated and I went on to Howard University, which is a historically Black college and university. And that's where my speaking and my business acumen really, really began to grow. So because I was an entrepreneur, I got asked very often to speak about my business experience. And that just blossomed where I was like, wait a minute, somebody had asked me how much I charge. And I'm like, wait a minute, you gonna pay me to talk? Oh, I'm looking at, oh, this is a business. Oh, okay, I can make money doing this. This is a grind and a hustle.
What were you doing before? You say you were an entrepreneur before, and you were talking about how you came up off the other business. So what was that business before you were a public speaker?
So basically, it was in college, it was called Speak to Society. I would teach students how to start businesses while they're still on campus and improve their public speaking skills. That was my very first business. After I left there, you know, it kind of like dwindled down. I was getting paid here and there, but it wasn't huge because college students were my market. But when I moved to Baltimore and I met my husband, we ended up starting a bag business together called Purse Paparazzi. And with that business, we needed money to grow and expand. So I ended up entering and winning a bunch of business pitch competitions. And if you're not familiar with business pitch competitions, it's where you give your best 30-second or 90-second elevator pitch, and whoever wins, you get the grand prize. So I was
almost like Shark Tank.
Yes, and I've auditioned for Shark Tank and made it to the Shark Tank auditions 4 separate times.
Wow.
So, yeah, so that is when I realized that entrepreneurs a lot of times are great and amazing at what they do, but they struggle to explain what it is they do in a way that's clear, concise, and compelling. So in addition to selling the purses, I begin to do coaching with entrepreneurs and teaching them how to be the spokesperson for their business or their brand. So I'm running this business, but I'm also working with entrepreneurs because they would see me do my elevator pitch and say, Quinn, teach me how to do that. And I didn't even know what that was. And then I figured it out. So I'm like, okay, I can teach you how to do your elevator pitch, or I call it your verbal business card. So you can be the spokesperson for your business or your brand every time you open your mouth. And since then, I've just been invited to speak on stages, women's empowerment, business. My whole thing is making sure that you can literally speak life into your business and use words that enhance what you really do.
How important is that for women to be able to do that?
So women, for the most part, is where I really serve women, especially women who look like me, because we have been muted and muzzled for way too long. Our voice has been snatched in so many different aspects. If you think about it, a lot of times women have been told to be seen but not heard. We've been told, you know, certain things. So a lot of times I am giving women their voice back. I'm showing them how to leverage their voice because for so long they've been told to be quiet. So there is something mentally that has to happen to let her use her voice again, because a lot of times we play it safe. We've been told we don't want to be bragging. You don't want to be doing too much. You want to stay in a woman's place. So when I pull you out of that place or that box that you put yourself in, I have to show you how do you activate your voice or reactivate your voice. It's okay to tell people that you're awesome and amazing. You're not bragging. You're just stating facts. So there's a mental thing that I have to go through with women to show them how much value their voice truly has. And that is a process.
I bet. But that's a beautiful thing. Would you say that the walk to become a public speaker, or to, like you said, to develop your virtual business card, right? Or your verbal business card, do you feel like that walk is a lighthearted walk? Or do you feel like it takes like some strong people to be able to advocate for themselves and talk about their own business? Or do you feel like that's an art anybody can do if they work hard at it?
Absolutely. People struggle with it all the time. You know, also too, it's also, people don't know they need me until they experience me. So as an entrepreneur, as a speaker, you'll spend money on branding, you'll buy a website, you'll do a photo shoot. And then when someone says, well, what do you do? You know, then you're like, oh, I do hair. It's just like, no, you are a hairstylist transformationalist. So we know what we do, but the challenge is explaining it and articulating to other people so it doesn't sound like we do what everybody else does. So if people are asking you, what do you do? And you're saying things like, oh, I sell t-shirts, or oh, I sell handbags, or oh, I'm a public speaking coach for entrepreneurs. It's not sexy enough. So you have to understand that you have to use words and language that really speak to the person that you can truly serve. And a lot of us are using language and words, which I call discount dialect, that's actually disrespecting our business, and we don't even know it.
That's crazy. Explain that a little bit more. Like how is that necessarily disrespecting your business, and how can entrepreneurs steer away from doing it to themselves?
So yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I'm getting my charger so I don't hang up on you here. I'm just trying to multitask, right? So yeah, so what happens is a lot of times we use certain language and words. So if I say, hey, what do you do? Oh, I have my little business. Or don't you have a business? Yeah, I just do hair. Or what you got going on? Oh, I help people start a business. So all of that is what I call discount dialect. That is words and phrases that don't truly speak to your greatness. And what you're really doing is you're discrediting and you're belittling your business. So you do so much more than that. So my goal is to make sure that how can we actually switch that up a little bit? How can we, sorry, you with me? So are you with me? Can you see me? Hold on. Sorry. So yeah, my goal is to make sure, for example, if you're going around saying, oh, I help people start a business. I help people, thrive in business. I help people, get the funding that they need for business. What happens is when they call you, when they reach out to you, because you use words like help, they want your help. They want your tips. They want to pick your brain. They don't want to invest. So again, words like help in the business world really kind of belittles what you do. So there's 1,000,001 things you can do to assist people in your line of work. You can coach them, train them, transform them, equip them, empower them. You can design, you can educate, you can enhance, but you don't help. So if you're walking around saying words like, oh, I got my business thing going on, what you're really doing, or what do you do? Oh, I kind of have a business. Those are all words that show your customer or your client that you're really not confident and sure on what you do. So you're using words that, like I said, discredit your business. And there's so much that you do if somebody experiences you, and using the word help actually lowers your value. Does that make sense?
Wow. Definitely. It definitely makes sense. I feel like it's the little things. I mean, that seems like it's so right in your face. Like that's kind of obvious, but I feel like people do that every single day. They kind of want to tread softly because, oh yeah, I do have my own business, but these guys work for this big company, so I don't want to be competing with them. Like, no, you should be competing with them. You should want to be able to do something like that. That's amazing. I was reading this article, and something in particular stood out to me. Right. On the second bullet point, you talked about shooting pre-recorded videos and going live on your social media, standing up. What exactly? Why did you put standing up? I mean, I think I know why, but why did you indicate standing up? Why is that important?
When you watched Barack Obama give a speech, Dr. Martin Luther King give a speech, anybody who is profound, anyone that you have liked or enjoyed, there is an energy and a command when you stand. Your energy is instantly elevated, and you take your viewer or the audience to an experience with you. So that simple shift of you literally standing up changes the whole atmosphere. Your body language changes. Your shoulders are more abrupt. There is a posture that comes with standing. So a lot of times when you sit, you slouch and you get comfortable, and your delivery and your demeanor will come off as if you're not as invested or interested. But when you are standing, if you think about all the great, even preachers, they stand in the pulpit, they ain't sitting down. Why? Because there is an element of connection, there is an element of relatability, and there's a element of expert and a level of influence that you have when you can confidently stand and deliver a message. So you want to change the atmosphere by your presence. And you do that with your ability to stand and deliver.
Whew. Preach. I feel that. Who are some of your influences? I mean, you got to have some powerful Black women behind you if you out here doing this. This is some big work that you're doing. So you gotta have some strong influence.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few people that I look up to. Lisa Nichols is amazing. She's an awesome Black woman speaker, who I just feel like she's one of the people who are doing it, and she's showing people like, hey, you can use your voice and make money. Another person, her name is Lisa Price. Okay, her name is Lisa Price, And she also has her own company called Carol's Daughter, and she has been speaking and using her voice to market her product and her service. And then there's people in my mind, I call them mentors in my mind. I don't have a personal relationship with them, but I'm reading their books, I'm watching their videos, I'm learning. And a lot of times people feel like you don't have to be in the same space as someone. You don't have to hear, or be in that same room. If you watch what you do, if you watch what Quinn is doing, you could pick up tips. Success leaves clues. If the person you admire is going live once a week or once a day, and you're going live once a month, you're doing something wrong.
Right.
So look at it like that. Like, success and influence, we have access to people now, access to people that we wouldn't have. We can slide in their DMs. We can find out where they're speaking at by going to their website. We can buy their book. We can buy into their coaching program. Like, there's no reason why we can't grow or thrive, because there's so many resources at our fingertips, and I have consumed, so much. I put the work in. I invest in myself. Like, I'm here not because I'm awesome and great. I would love to take all the credit, but I'm not. It's because I have God on my side, and also I'm a reader of books. Amen. I do coaching programs. I'm an investor in Quinn, because once I become an investor in Quinn, I can show up more authentically for the people that I'm supposed to serve. And I can't do that if I am running empty. I got to be full of knowledge, information, and all that stuff.
I was going to get to that question, and you already threw it at me. It's all good. I wanted to talk about how important is it to refill your cup? If you're pouring into others on a consistent basis, I mean, if you're a public speaker, that's your bread and butter. That's what you do, right? How important is it to refill that cup?
Oh my gosh, I'm a student. I'm more of a student than I am a teacher, because those who learn more earn more. So the more that I know, the more I can better serve you. But then sometimes I got to cut people off, because some people will drain you and they want more pieces of you. And I'm seeing that. And I never knew what that was until my last speaking engagement. And it was just like the people were just pulling from me, and I felt depleted. So I have to make sure that I go into my quiet space. I'm reading this book called The 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma. So my first hour from 5 to 6, I'm up at 5 a.m. and I'm doing certain things because I don't want a mediocre or average life. And if I want a non-mediocre average life, I got to do stuff that average people won't do, which is waking up at 5, and making sure that I'm mentally strong. I'm reading, I'm meditating. I got to get filled up. And I got a powerhouse group of women behind me that if I'm tired, if I'm weary, I can take off my crown. I can take the S off my chest and be like, I don't know what I'm doing. Can I lay at your feet? Can you give me some insight? So I know that I am not the smartest of the crew, but I got a crew around me who I can go, who could pour back into me when I'm constantly pouring as well. And that's the thing. People think that we need more money when it comes to thriving as a person of color who's in business. But what we really need is more community, and we need more confidence to do the stuff that we really want to do.
You looking at my notes? You got to be looking at my notes. Oh my goodness. I was about to ask you, how important is community in regards to the work that you do? Is it a one-man band, one-woman band? Sorry. Is it a one-woman band, or are there other people that you can lean on, which you already mentioned? And how important is that? Because in my own experience, I always hear this rule of, I want to say it's the rule of 5, right? And they say something like, you're going to become, or you're more influenced by the 5 people that you're around the most. If you want to learn something about somebody, you want to know something about somebody, pay attention to the 5 people they spend the most time around. Would you agree with something like that? Or would you say that?
Oh, absolutely. No, absolutely. You're right. I mean, like I said, it's not hard. If you see somebody who's out here hustling, selling drugs, and that's your 5 friends do that, you don't think you're going to want to do it eventually? Same thing. I mean, it just is what it is. If you see somebody out here and all 5 of your friends are going to college, you're the only one looking like, I don't know what I'm going to do. You're like, no, you're going to want to go to college. So we are tribal, and we're community by nature. That's how we grow. That's how we live. And somewhere along the line, society and social media have got you thinking like you could do this by yourself. You can't. You won't. You know what I mean? You'll starve, you'll be lonely, and that's not the way we're settled. So, especially as women, we need each other. We are nurturers by trade, and we're only going to get so far by ourselves because there's something out there that you are so good at. There's something out there that I am so good at, but I have to take care of my weaknesses. God gave each of us a gift. He didn't give us every single thing. So we have to lean on other people to get what we need to be able to grow and thrive. So a community, I even have a community. It's called Speak Black Women. And we be in there getting our lives together because you need it. Nobody wants to be alone. You don't want to be alone. At the end of the day, you don't want to be alone. You want someone to share your success with, share your wins with, someone to wipe your tears, someone to tell you that it's okay, someone to tell you that you effed up. You need all of that. Okay? You need all of that. So again,
and it's out of all times to hear something like that, right now is the time to hear that. Because, I mean, some people are lonely right now. Yeah. When they get a chance to get back out in freedom, they better move accordingly.
Absolutely.
So before we get out of here, what are some things that you would like our viewers to take from this interview, and how can they stay in touch with you and keep following you and make sure that they can use you as a resource?
Absolutely. So I am Quinn Conyers. You can go to QuinnConyers.com, read all about me. Again, that's QuinnConyers.com. I'm also on all social media platforms at Quinn Conyers. I'm definitely, ain't but one Quinn Conyers. So it's not like you're going to put me in and a million people are going to come up. I'm probably the only Quinn Conyers in the world. If you need another one, let me know so I can introduce myself. We can become best friends. But I already know that I'm probably the only Quinn Conyers. But the biggest thing that I can say to people right now, especially, is we are in a season, in a time where we are right now is not where we're going to be forever. There has been times in history where there has been, not necessarily a pandemic, but there has been recessions, and, life will restore. And I'm not going to say it's going to get back to normal, but us being in isolation, us being quarantined is just a thing that is right now. Instead of focusing on what we can't do, focus on what you are able to do. You might need, sometimes we don't necessarily appreciate what we ask for because it doesn't come into the package that we want, So you might need this time to get yourself together, to, spend more time with your family, to look at your finances, to get that business started, or just do nothing. Don't get caught up like because you didn't start a business or launch that $1 million business that you're behind. Some of us needed a rest. Some of us needed a pause. Some of us needed to regroup. So take this for whatever it is and try to see what is the blessing. What can I learn within this time, either about myself? Some of y'all need to spend time with yourself. Some of y'all need to cut off your cell phone, get off of social media, and figure out what you like to do, what makes you happy. So I just encourage everyone to understand this is a season. It will pass. I'm not sure when. I can't promise that. But look at the lesson in this. What did you need to accomplish during this time? And it could be quiet. It could be pushing you to do something that you always wanted to do, or it could just be a complete reset. All of that is okay. I don't want people feeling like if they don't come out of this with $1 million business, that they're lazy, because if anything, your brain could have needed a rest, or it might be time to kind of stop being so complacent. You were been supposed to start that business and you out here comfortable and complacent because you get a check every 2 weeks. And maybe this is the wake up call to say, hey, I've given you this business idea. When are you going to act? Now is the time.
Oh my goodness, you be lighting fires. You already lit a fire in me. I'm over here thinking like, man, should I clock in? Nah, I hear that though. That's awesome. Well, again, we definitely appreciate you. You dropped a bunch of jewels in this interview. So if you guys are tuning in right now, it's a pre-recorded interview, but make sure you like, share, and comment. This is TCP News Break. We appreciate you guys. Again, Quinn, thank you so much. Lancashire is very proud. You held us down. You still keeping it going, and we definitely gonna follow suit.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
Hey, no problem. All right, you have a blessed one. Be safe out here.
All right, thank you. You too.
Good Monday morning. How was your Easter for those who celebrate? I know that it was a little different. I know it was different for us in our household, attending service online as we've been doing for the last few weeks, letting the kids, still have their Easter baskets, still have a little bit of fun. But it was different. It was extremely different. I know that today's a new week, and since we've last talked, now schools for Pennsylvania schools are now out for the rest of the year, which is following suit with a lot of the school districts in different states. So we're right on task, unfortunately, for what everyone else is doing for this COVID-19. And I know that some parents are completely devastated because they had hope that we would go back to school, or the kids would go back to school, I should say, but that's not looking like it's going to be the case. So how do you manage your mindset? How do you manage your thought process around when you see how our lives are going to continuously be impacted by this? The one thing that I think to myself, or I try to keep to my mindset, is that the fact that one, our families are okay, right? And that's the hope. And the more that we stay in and continue to social distance, that is the hope that will happen. Here in Philadelphia, we're called or being considered for the next surge city, meaning our cases are jumping to the point that it'll start to mimic that of New York or that of New Jersey. And that's a scary thing for families here. But again, we also have a lot of irresponsibility. We still have people visiting other family members within their homes. We still have people having birthday parties and holding social gatherings within their personal spaces. And we have to really come to the conclusion that we really should just continue to practice true social distancing, meaning if you do not live in a home, you should not be visiting a home. I have not seen my parents. I have not seen my extended family. And it's been a lot, but we all have to do our part because it's at the end of the day, we don't want to make anyone else sick. Moving away from COVID-19, how can we start our mind? How can we motivate ourselves when we're pretty much lounging in our PJs and we're kind of just trying to figure it out? We may be in a mode where we're just trying to basically survive. How do we manage that? And a lot of that comes from taking one day at a time. I cannot stress to you how we have to literally find ways of trying to push everything together. And what about May? What about June? What about July? What about Monday? How are we going to make it through our Monday? What are the little things that I can do to motivate my Monday? Maybe change my area. I'm doing a lot of cleaning, a lot of purging, and just bringing in elements that will make my space be more joyful. It could be change of colors. You can bring in, you could order some flowers and make some bouquets. Like certain things of those sorts could help your mindset to basically change the way that you're looking around your space. For me, we changed our work area where I had my own workspace. Now we had to include it to make everybody else. So we gave everybody their own personal space. That might be something that you want to do. How can we get through Monday? What is on my heart for today? Yes, let's make a to-do list. To-do lists are great because we can focus our thoughts about what it is that we need to do, cross it off the list, and then we continue to keep going. Don't think about or try to put everything onto your plate. If you are struggling and you're unemployed right now, the only thing you're thinking of right now is pure survival. What do I need? Do I need to go to a food bank, which has no shame in utilizing the very things that were placed here on this earth to help, right? Don't have shame in that. Utilize those services for whatever it is that you need, because remember, this is about survival. We know that better days will come, but until we get to where we feel like those better days have come into our own lives, we have to do small things to get ourselves together. I can only say that reach out to your friends and family who you love and try to do as many videos that you possibly can to see them. It's hard because then you're like, I really want to hug them. I want to be around them. If you're single, I talk to some of my friends who are by themselves and they're single and they want to be able to get out and they can't see their families because they're practicing social distancing. Call those friends. Make sure you put eyes, if you can, onto them, hear their voices, make sure that they're really okay. And let me just give one beautiful tip. When you ask someone, are you okay? If they say, I'm okay, ask follow-up questions. How are you doing today? How are you coping with everything going on? Do you have what you need? Is there something that I can assist you with? Do you need something from me? These are second level questions so that people don't give you that generic okay. Let me just be honest. There are days when I am not okay. And just having someone say, how can I help you? What is going on? What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? What's on your heart? It makes a world of difference. So stop getting into the way that we say, oh, I'm all right. I'm okay, when you're really not okay. If you're truly, truly not okay, it's okay to not be okay. But make sure that if you are a friend or a family member, ask second level questions today. Reach out to as many people as you can to make sure that everybody has a support system. And if you can be, and you're strong enough to be a support system to someone else. So as you start your Monday, as you're motivating yourself, as you're changing up your atmosphere to try to be conducive to work, as you're making a to-do list to refocus your thoughts about what it is that you want to get through, call someone, speak to someone, FaceTime someone, Google Duo someone, there's Zoom someone. There are so many new mechanisms that we have right now to put a face to a name and name to a face. But don't settle for someone when they say I'm okay. Most times they're not. And I think right now, we all need to be aware of our mental health. We need to be aware of our spacing. We need to be aware of our hearts and the things that are on our minds so that we can make sure that we do all that we can to support one another, because we all need so much support and so much love. So here we are with Toy, Tea Time with Toy, and the tea is sip and love, right? Show some love to someone, call someone. Ask second level questions and make sure that you can be a support system to someone that may need it. And if you are that one, if you're that person that needs that support, when someone asks you if you're okay, give them an honest answer. Don't feel ashamed because your answer isn't happy. Don't feel ashamed because your answer isn't joyful. But you can ask someone, if someone asks you a question, just say, yes, I am struggling today. I'm okay, but I could be better. And then when they say, what could you be better in? Give them an honest answer. I hope that you have love. I hope that your yesterday was okay. And if yesterday wasn't okay and you struggled a little bit, what can you do today to make your day a lot better? And I hope that starts with love and ends with love. I'm here to support. I love you all. Have a great day and an amazing week.
Bill,
what's poppin'?
I'm about to get this workout in. I just had a smoothie with my sea moss in it. Feel really good. Feel full of energy. Yeah, I feel like I'm 18 again, bro. Like it was 96 at McCaskey.
You feel like it's 96 for real?
For real, bro.
You want that 96 track smoke though?
What? Yo, let's get it. Let's get it. You ain't saying nothing. I think I can still run like a 4.3.
Cause you know I'm on the sea moss too. So if that's what you want, I mean, ain't nothing but space and opportunity out here.
You want to put a jar on it?
Let's put a jar. Jar of sea moss. We got it.
Let's get it. You ready, Bill?
Let's get it.
Come on. On your mark. Get set. Go.
Ay, bendito.
Lord have mercy.
Up. It's TCP in the morning. Good morning, y'all.
Wake up. Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up, y'all.
Wake up.
Wake up. It's TCP in the morning.
It's TCP in the morning. Let's go.
It's TCP in the morning.
TCP in the morning.
It's 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 TCP in the morning. It's TCP in the morning.
It's TCP in the morning. You don't want to miss this.
Wake up. It's TCP in the morning. Woo!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's TCP in the morning. We got me, myself, Marcus, the Quiet Storm. We got the sun, and we got Lady L. Skins.
Buenos dias.
I really hope that you all enjoyed the TCP news break. Lot of great gems. We're gonna have Quinn back. Have to have her back.
Yeah.
What else?
She was spitting bars though. She was spitting.
Yeah.
Like she was getting some. She was dropping some gems, giving nothing but knowledge.
Yep.
Everything hitting home. Like she didn't waste any time. Everything she had to say had a point, had a purpose, and boom,
right there.
Salute you, Quinn.
And then and then T with Toy. Like that is great. It gets better and better and better every week. I really like the direction that this little you know, let me not say little, taking a book, taking a page from Quinn's book and everything like that. Not a little morning show. I really like what we're doing with this morning show.
I do too.
You know, and
like, we're opening up, man.
Right.
We're opening up, and like you guys are really like people are really tuning in and joining us in the morning. Like you guys are really waking up with us like first thing in the morning. Right. And hearing what we got to say, you know.
Right.
Like,
We
get
appreciate
news
you.
from us.
Right,
That's
right.
what we do.
Absolutely. So right now, we have our conversations with Lady L.
Oh shit.
Hey.
Okay.
Yes. So Lady L, what you got for us?
All right, so we have our conversations topics provided by Urban Intellectuals. It is their Real Talk Black Conscious Conversations card deck that we will be using today and that we used on most shows. So today's conversation, I'm going to have our lovely producer pick a card, pick a topic for today. Still. All right. Okay, well, let's go with this one. How is Africa one of the poorest continents despite hosting so much of the world's natural resources? So again, we're going to drop that question into our comments. Please share your feedback. But the question is, how is Africa one of the poorest continents despite hosting so much of the world's natural resources? I feel like that's a conversation topic that not most black people, but I feel like we have it a lot in our house. If you've ever been a guest at our house, we're always talking about black culture in Africa. I think me in particular, I think it's as poor as it is because of colonialism. I think that the systems that were set in place so many centuries ago are really still wreaking havoc. I mean, we're still listening to something that was written in 1776. So who's to say that in Africa they're not still abiding by some of these rules that had been imposed upon them from the Europeans, the Spaniards, whoever else had come over to colonize the continent. So again, how is it that Africa is one of the poorest continents despite hosting so much of the world's natural resources?
Well, I think
because the majority of the natural resources are being harvested by people outside the nation, and the money is going outside of the country, and it's not all being directed. But there is a good part there. Like there is still parts of Africa with money. Like it's still one of the poor nations. So
you know what a white man told me one time. That if it was not for white people, Africans would be living in huts, and that we should be grateful for them. And this was a white man who was teaching in West Philly.
As if the Moors didn't bring math and science to Europe.
Right. That part. I think that it's one of the poorest because it's one of the most exploited. Like it wasn't just Europe and everything like that. And when we say Europe, we just clump in all these different countries. Like it was different country after country after country after country from Europe. But then it was also the Chinese as well. So like you're getting it from both sides. And then let's talk about the Americas. When the whole slave trade happened, that's another exploitation. And there was still the slave trade that went up to Europe as well. We talk about this transatlantic slave trade as if it was just
the only one.
Right, like that was it. No, they followed the model that the Europeans were doing, taking Africans from North Africa back up to Europe.
And when people understand the concept that slavery started through war.
Exactly.
And that's really where it began, and it became bastardized. And really, and what was happening during those wars was they were taking the resources, which were the people, out of Africa and taking them to other places. The same way they're doing it now, just they're raping the land and not the people.
But and I'm glad you used that word resources because what this world has done, it has taken Africa's most prized resource. What's that?
People.
It's people. It's people made Africa what it is. So they said, hey, we like what you made Africa, so we want you to make this Europe, make this new America just like Africa under what we think that it should look like.
Brother William Winder.
Yes. What's up?
And the comedy says, what about the Arab slave trade?
That too.
Right.
That too.
This is what we're saying. It wasn't just happening Africa to here. It happened within the Arab nations, Arab to Europe, the Arabian nation at the upper part of Africa to Europe as well.
Right.
But there is if anybody's heard the story of Equiano, I believe his name was Equiano, and he had been a slave in Africa and in the Americas. And he tells this story of how when he was a slave in Africa, you know, he ate dinner with the family. He would get fed first before their children because he was older. And he was a slave to the family, but he talks about his treatment there. And then he talks about how something happened. He ends up on a boat and now he's a slave in America. And it was like nothing he had ever experienced. And so when we're talking about like slavery in the context of it happening in Africa and abroad, it didn't necessarily look like it did in South America. It didn't look like it did in the islands, and it didn't look like it did in America. Nobody's slave trade looks like ours. Nobody's, not Brazil's, not Spain's, nobody's slave trade looks like America. And I think it's because of what we were harvesting and growing here allowed for more detrimental treatment of the slaves versus if you were farming cattle or horses. It's a different treatment. But the thing is that people just say, oh, well, there was slavery here, there was slavery there. There was no slavery like American slavery. I mean, if we set the bar high.
Or low.
Right, or low. Thank you. And so for people to just dismiss it like, oh, well, there was slavery everywhere, not like this. Not like here.
It comes to the concept of them continually taking resources out of Africa, be it the human resources back then, or now, you know, the coltan, the silver, the platinum, the gold, that's all in our cell phones, that's all in the satellites.
Yeah.
All of those things are things they're taking out of Africa now, which someone in the comments said that Africa isn't the poorest nation. It's actually the rich one, probably the richest nation. But the people that are benefiting from the richness are the people that are coming and raping it.
Yeah.
Here's another comment. Brittany, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. She says, well, they've been stealing from Africa since day one. Tanya, she says, Tanya, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. She says it's not the poorest. That's just something they planted so they can keep the African slaves, African American people here. That's my take on it. Africa's beautiful. There are parts that are like very low income, like everywhere else, but Africa is very rich. Will Winder, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, brother. He says the European definitely turned it up a few notches. Which is true. I mean, like they left their land, which they were oppressed, you know, and then came to this land and
oppressed people
and oppressed and made them sick, and then said, okay, well, they can't handle this, so let's go over here and get these people, you know, and that continuation of exploitation and exploitation and more exploitation continue to happen.
I wonder if we're going to take a moment and some of us here in America are going to go back.
I do. I know.
Like the hopes of Marcus Garvey and the hopes of Abraham Lincoln. Like, are there going to be a number of us?
Well, the Pan-African movement.
Yeah.
Resurges. We have a resurgence.
Right. Especially after this coronavirus and seeing what's really happening with black folks in America.
Will Winder says, shit, Europe named Africa.
How about
and
that?
That's a fact.
How about that?
That's a fact. We don't use any of the African names that were bestowed upon it before Europe Americanized America.
And I feel like we have something in the house with all those old names like Kush and Kemet, and we got something floating around the house with all that on there. All right. Well, guys, again, if you want to know what the question was, it's inside the comments. Drop your comment. We would love to hear from you. Again, this is TCP in the morning. This is Conversations with Lady L. We are on to topic number 2, and I'm just going to randomly pick. All right. Ooh. What are President Bill Clinton and Joe Biden's roles in the mass incarceration of the black community?
Let's go.
We're going to do that right now, especially since Joe Biden is running for president right now. He is the only Democratic nominee. I think he's the last man standing.
Yeah, Bernie.
Say it again for the
people in the back.
Yeah.
Oh, Joe Biden's the last man standing? What are President Bill Clinton and Joe Biden's role in the mass incarceration of the black community? All right, so let's not. We're not even going to talk about the video that surfaced when Hillary Clinton was running.
Dom said, "Pick a new card."
Nope. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Oh man! I mean, the other question isn't much better, Dom.
Dixon, do you want to start off? I'll start it off.
Yeah,
go ahead, brother.
Oh, you definitely got a Biden supporter in the room.
Let's go. Let's hear it. Come on. Let's get your take, man. Come on.
The whole Predator, I feel like the whole Predator program back then, like the program Bill Clinton created, to where it was just like it was a war on drugs and war on black people. You know, what was it? The
3 strike.
The 3 strike rule, yeah, the 3 strike offender rule, where if you did, there was no I don't know, it just seemed like it was too much, you know, and it was all targeted towards inner city, like towards us.
I think that they played a key role. That is my word. They played a key role in the mass incarceration of the black community. This whole 3 strikes rule, this super predator, and everything like that. Like that really, that was a continuation of the Reagan with the whole crack epidemic. So just really think about, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. Like every decade has their, with the 70s you had the civil rights, with the 80s you had the crack epidemic. For the 90s, it's that crime bill. It is that crime bill. So to the question, President Bill Clinton and at that time Senator Biden, they played a key role. Yes, a key role in the mass incarceration. They built, and this is the thing, ladies and gentlemen, they built their national political careers on the incarceration of black male bodies in this country. The millions of dollars that they have now, the foundations that they have now, the positions that they held and hold right now was built off of that crime bill and incarcerating many, many, many black men.
So then, should we not be concerned
about it and welcome Joe Biden into the presidency with welcome arms? Because there are a lot of black and brown people that's like, I'm not going to vote for him. You got people that's like, well, if you're not voting for him, that vote not for him is a vote for Trump. So then what do? Do we vote for the man who purposely incarcerated our brothers, our uncles, our cousins so that he could maintain his own lifestyle? Or do we get 4 more years of Donald Trump and just be okay with that? I mean, at this point, I think that our government is really about the lesser of 2 evils.
Well, you think about this, right? The crime bill was not taking anything away from it. It was 92, 93, and I believe that they are remorseful about it.
A lot of guys.
And yet they didn't let those people out of jail. They didn't try to reverse it. 3 strikes is still a thing. So I mean, so what did you do? Oh, I'm so remorseful, but your uncle gonna stay in there for 30 years. Oh, I'm so remorseful, but your auntie gonna be there.
You built a system that has been running for, 30 plus years. You just can't one day say, oh, we're sorry, let's flip it. Like, like there's.
Why not? Donald Trump came up in here and flipped everything.
He did it though. He just pulled the veil back. That's what he did. This stuff has been going on. This stuff has been going on for forever. We just didn't know because we had presidents that were a lot more savvy in dealing with the inner workings. This guy's just like, look, y'all gonna know what's on my mind and what's not on my mind because I'm gonna lie about it. And he's not savvy. So we just see everything that's supposed to be cloak and dagger. We see. We got some comments, ladies and gentlemen. We got some comments. Go ahead, Ty. What we got?
William Winder. Didn't Clinton apologize for that? Dominic Jordan, the irony, since you mentioned Reagan, both of their wives bossed up off the criminal justice system, and I would agree.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally the same thing as last time. Mike Mumaw says #Blexit.
Right?
Trump is raising to our faces. Dominic Jordan, William Winder. It was an attempt to break our home. That's a great point. Dom. Trump let out 69. Dom, should we have given Biden an opportunity? Should we give Biden an opportunity to right his wrongs? No. Reminder of facts.
I think that we should give him the opportunity to right his wrongs because we let everybody else, have the opportunity to right their wrongs. Our politicians,
it's okay.
It doesn't mean that it's okay, but it's also on us to vote in the people lower to keep that individual accountable. Checks and balances. It's just not about the president. It's about the senators. It's about the House of Representatives. It's about your governor.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, and we skipped Corona Chronicles today, but ladies and gentlemen, if there's any time that shows you the importance of your state and regional government, right now will show you. Right now will definitely show you. Governor Wolf is doing his thing right now. He really is. Versus other governors and other states where they're going to be hurting for a little bit because they're not taking the parameters. But I mean, Governor Wolf it's not all decisions that we love, but it's decisions that we're going to like in the future.
I just want our viewers to be mindful whenever politicians starts talking about being tough on crime, that's just code for lock up the black folks. Yeah. That's it. The moment somebody says, "Oh, we got to be tougher on crime," a red alarm should go off in your head that says, "Lock up the black people."
Absolutely.
Because that's all that means. Because look at our judicial system. Yep. Who is disproportionately being sentenced and having higher sentencing rates and things like that? It's black and brown people.
The one thing you learn over time, especially, as all of us who have been to colleges, you learn that sociology is the study of people, but criminology is a study of black behavior.
Right.
The more we've gone through it and understood it, the more you watch it and read it, that criminology class is really about what black people do.
Yep. When you talk about this certain way they dress. And the certain way they talk and
interact with each other.
Right. If there's a large group of individuals.
That's crazy. I wonder, and that's nothing but stereotyping. But let's be honest, how has our world changed since these mass shootings? Because let me tell you, if I see a random white guy alone in the gun section at Walmart, I'm like, what are you doing?
Are you stereotyping now? So now
Brittany Lupton says, well, then stop committing crimes. Keep it simple, right?
Facts.
Well, it's hard when your skin color is the crime.
Right. That's the issue.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, you are watching TCP in the Morning, powered by the mighty TCP Network. We are the Basket Robbers of podcasting.
We do it all!
We do this Sunday to Thursday. Opinionated Facts is our sports show. We have Say Less podcast, which is our pop culture show. Sit Down with the Johnsons, which is our relationship show. We have on 10th Floor, which is our pop culture and sports show with a deep dive. We have Hip Hop and Politics, which literally is hip hop and politics. We have Quick and Easy with Chef Oliver, which you can learn how to cook 30-minute meals or less. And then on Thursdays, we have King's Court. And on Mondays, we have The Antidote with Johnny Vega and Yaya. We have what you need, have what you want, ladies and gentlemen. So with 5 minutes left.
Say again. We have what you need. We have what you want. Just shimmy.
Jazz hands. So, Lady L, if you could give us one more conversation card
you guys
to leave with.
I don't know
one
if
more.
our viewers can handle it.
Well, let's give them something to talk about after the show is over.
Well, who's the #1 black music artist of all time?
Oh yeah,
Michael. The #1 black music artist of all time. Drop your comments.
Beyonce.
Is Drake black?
Beyonce.
It's Drake?
Oh.
Yo.
Beyonce's a beast.
I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking MJ.
I was gonna say
Beyonce's a beast, though.
Yo, y'all just stop. Because if Mike was alive and if Mike dropped the album right now,
I'd buy it.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
Yo,
You won't buy a Beyonce album
right now.
I wouldn't buy
No,
Beyonce.
you're sentimental. Let me ask you this.
I wouldn't buy the Beyonce album
that
right now.
album that had butterflies on it. Did y'all buy it?
Yeah.
I bought that junk.
What was the name of it?
We don't remember.
Was that the one with like the?
It was a Michael Jackson album.
It was a Michael right.
It didn't need a name.
Right now.
It didn't need a name.
You're right. I don't know the name.
It didn't need a name.
I might have burnt it.
I see. I just say
it didn't need it.
Y'all don't even know the words to Butterfly. Just and he's a great. Stop it. Stop it.
So wait, so you got Beyonce as the greatest artist of all time?
Huh?
Greatest black artist of all time, Beyonce.
Greatest black. Yes. It would look. Beyonce has been doing it since what? 98.
She was doing it since she was like.
Yeah, before, and then they got them little videos of her and them concerts.
When there was 8 Destiny Child members to 6.
We got a few comments. Michael Jackson. Drake is black. Dix. Tom says Hove. Brittany Lupton says Beyonce's next.
Yo,
she ain't now.
Yo, Kevin Gates. I need two.
So I'm going Michael Jackson, or I'm not even say Prince.
Oh, Prince.
You know what?
Or Luther.
Unpopular opinion. Unpopular opinion. I'm not a fan.
Who?
You're not a Prince fan?
I'm not a Prince fan. I was never.
Like,
You know when I learned Purple Rain? You want to know when I learned Purple Rain and Prince songs? Watching Happy Feet. I'm watching Happy Feet. I ain't gonna hold you.
That was like last week.
I did. Yeah, I listened to a lot of Prince. I was just like, he's not for me.
Oh, somebody said James Brown. That's
James
nice.
Brown. Yo, James Brown. But like, when we think about performers and everything like that, I mean, what's the criteria then? You know, but I really do.
It's all opinions.
Because I was gonna say Marvin Gaye. I was gonna say, but I feel like when you look at his body of work ain't as right. It was cut short. It was cut short. So then you have to think about longevity and
Let's
yo,
Marvin Gaye and get it on.
Beyonce. I'm just saying, Beyonce and
is it about impact?
Yeah.
Because if it's about impact, then probably Hove, right?
I don't know. Let's just look at the numbers.
The whole hip hop culture.
Yeah, look at the numbers.
Right.
The whole yeah. Stevie Wonder. Dom said. Brittany said James Brown.
Whitney.
Ray Charles. Yeah.
Whitney.
Ray Charles.
Does a group count?
Does it? Yo. Well then, if we do Boys to Men, we got to go back.
Opens up.
New edition.
Right.
I'm just saying. I'm saying the conversation.
Silk wasn't even the best during their time.
Better than Silk. Why are we saying Silk?
Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for joining us. This is another great episode of TCP in the morning. Before we head out, any last shout outs?
Yo guys, listen. Holiday weekend's over. Still no school. And find healthy ways to have fun, right? Healthy ways to deal with your kids, and healthy ways to deal with being stuck in your house.
Right.
All right, but stay safe, guys.
Lady L.
Hey, all right, guys. Enjoy the week. We're about to tackle another week of this quarantine here in Lancaster, PA. Be safe. Cover your mouths. Cover your hands. Try to limit your outside. Yeah. Wear your mask. Don't forget to watch us Mondays and Wednesdays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Streaming live on Facebook from the TCP Network. It's your girl, Lady L. Follow me on Instagram, TCP_network, or follow me at wit_on_street. See you Wednesday.
We'll be back at it. Ladies and gentlemen, like always, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Please keep the comments going, keep the conversation going. If you like what you hear, share it. Join us again on Wednesday at 7 o'clock. And once again, this is TCP in the Morning, powered by the mighty TCP Network. Yes, sir. Sundays, we have Say Less Podcast. And we have Opinionated Facts. And we have Sit Down with the Johnsons. Monday, we have The Antidote with Johnny Vega. Tuesdays, we have 10th Floor. And we have Hip Hop and Politics. Wednesdays, we have Quick and Easy with Chef Oliver. Thursdays, the Men of King's Court wraps up the week. Check us out, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, every Monday and Wednesday at 7 a.m., TCP In The Morning. I love you. Thanks for listening. Thank you for watching. That's that, ladies and gentlemen.
Have
Peace.
a great day.
Have a great week.
Enjoy this weather.
It's TCP in the morning. Good morning, y'all.
Wake up. Wake up.
Wake up. Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up, y'all.
Wake up.
Wake up. It's TCP in the morning.
TCP in the morning. Let's go.
It's TCP in the morning.
TCP in the morning.
It's 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 TCP in the morning. It's TCP in the morning.
It's TCP in the morning. You don't want to miss this.
Wake up. It's TCP in the morning. Woo!
What's good, Bill?
What's poppin'?
I'm about to get this workout in. I just had a smoothie with my sea moss in it. Feel really good. Feel full of energy. Yeah, I feel like I'm 18 again, bro. Like it was 96 at McCaskey.
You feeling like it's 96 for real?
For real, bro.
You want that 96 track smoke, though?
What? Yo, let's get it. Let's get it. You ain't saying nothing. I think I can still run like a 4.3.
Because you know I'm on the CMOS too, so if that's what you want, I mean, ain't nothing but space and opportunity out here.
You want to put a jar on it?
Let's put a jar. Jar of CMOS. We got it.
Let's get it. You ready, Bill?
Let's get it.
Come on. On your mark, get set, go.
Ay, bendito.
Lord have mercy.
TCP Line. We're not afraid to get political.
Empowering women and giving us a voice for all to hear.
Where we could say more or say less.
Catching the day's latest news.
Serving up what you need to know with a whole lot of flavor.
From City Hall to your local barbershops. From your mobile phone to your living room. Welcome.
Woo! TCP Line. It's a movement, not a moment. Let's go.
It's TCP in the morning. Good morning, y'all.
Wake up. Wake up.
Wake up. Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up, y'all.
Wake up.
Wake up. It's TCP in the morning.
TCP in the morning. Let's go.
It's TCP in the morning.
TCP in the morning.
It's 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 TCP in the morning. It's TCP in the morning.
It's TCP in the morning. You don't want to miss this.
Wake up. It's TCP in the morning. Woo!